If we look at this, one of the things that's exciting for me is as a sales and sales management consultant, in fact, I have a very specific niche in the marketplace. I only work with experienced business-to-business sales people who already know how to sell, the managers that lead them, and the executives that direct them. See, most sales training programs teach you how to shoot a gun, how to aim it, and how to clean it. I assume people have those skills, so now we can talk about how do you hunt. Everything I do has a singular focus of how do you increase your competitive advantage so that you maximize your profitability. And looking at that and working through that process, I watched, though, across all industries, there's a lot of challenges that are happening, usually within the philosophies of how management and their sales force make this happen. With managers, I watched there's 4 consistent challenges. The first is most managers are overworked. Most executives really had no idea what a frontline sales manager was supposed to do, so they just kept loading them up with a bunch of stuff until they started screaming, figuring that's the way you maximize productivity within a sales manager. So as you watch, most sales managers have very little time to coach today because they're so busy dealing with all the issues. Most sales managers only tend to focus on 4 things: special pricing, expediting, problem solving, customer suck-up calls. Hey, thanks for the business kind of stuff. And there usually tends to be very little coaching because of this overworked environment that they have grown up in. The second challenge is that managers and salespeople have this mentality that experienced equals trained. It's really kind of amazing. One of the things I do is I sit on airplanes, and when I get upgraded to first class, I know there's an 80% chance the person sitting next to me is in sales or in sales leadership, because 80% of all the frequent flyers are in sales positions. And I'll ask the individual, and I'll say, so what's your job? And they'll say they're in sales. And I'll say, so how much sales training have you had in the last 12 months? Think how you might answer that if you and I were chatting. What's amazing is nobody ever tells me none, which is the answer for most. What they tell me is, well, I've been selling for 15 years. See, there's this mentality that experience equals trained. So you go up to a senior rep saying, okay, your marketplace has gotten tougher, your competitors have become more aggressive, your buyers are more demanding and demanding more financial justification of what they're doing. They're giving you less time. There's much more of a matrix, complex decision process within the political organization of most of our customers. How have you adapted and changed and improved the way you sell through training? And most salespeople say, well, I've been selling for 15 years. There's nothing new in sales. I've heard it all before, so what's the big deal? Have we described any of your people within your organization that have that kind of mindset? So then that's okay, except for as marketplaces shift and as they do the natural evolution, as competitors change marketplaces and customers do based on how we need to respond to it. Watch, a lot of salespeople today don't have all the skills they need to be successful because they go on the assumption that experience equals trained. The third challenge I watch within this is that most sales reps are like independent gunfighters. It's kind of fun being here in Arizona and looking at all the pictures in the hallways of what it was like during the Wild West times. But that's how most sales organizations are run today. It's like, to keep our town safe, we have hired a bunch of independent gunfighters. Now, they each brought their own weapons. They each have their own style. There's no need to train a gunfighter because if they're still alive, we assume they have to be good at their job or else they wouldn't be alive anymore. And so they're all independent. They have their own style, and they take care of the town. Now, we have no idea what they're doing. We have no idea how they're doing it, but everybody's excited because we're hiring experienced pros. The reality today, though, is that it's becoming much more of a process. And the process or structure is it's becoming much more like the police SWAT teams. Not the SWAT teams like you have within your Certified Angus Beef, which is a spectacular program to protect your brand, but the SWAT team of the military presence, where the concept that what one learns all benefits. It's interesting how most salespeople are off doing such their own thing in their own way that there tends to be no consistency. If you want to test this out or challenge this within your sales team, ask them to say, walk me through your selling process. From the time you identify a new opportunity to the time you close, what's the process you go through? And you're going to hear a completely different answer from every sales rep and every manager that you talk to. Because this independent gunfighter mentality that each person has their own style and does it their own way, and with this idea that experience equals trained, in most organizations there's no training, there's no improvement, there's no skill direction. And then we wonder why the salespeople aren't doing anything different.